get a little scary. So I'm getting there.
You're listening to Party Nerds Weekly.
What's going on, everybody? Party Nerds. We are back. We got the whole crew with us today. We're going to be talking some Loki season 2. Now, I guess technically we're past the halfway point, but this has been such a deep series. So honestly, I'm going to just pass it up to the professional, Mr. Grandmaster. But before I do got to introduce the cast. Above me, we got the evil editor, that just horrible, wonderful guy, Jorge Vergara. Give it up for Jorge.
What up?
He's our own Miss Minutes.
That's right.
And to my this side over here, we got the man himself, the guy who knows comics, he knows sports,
Light skin
knows
music.
a little bit about everything. And he's light skinned. Yeah, we got two today. Give it up for Mr. Haas Diesel. What is up, Paul? Jorge hit me with the outro.
But thank you.
Oh my God.
Got his hat on. She's
Sound
Yeah,
like
I'm about to
Robotech.
say, y'all are definitely going to hell for this shit. But Miami Geeks, good to see you, brother. Let's get to it.
Of course, we got the man who's going to be hosting tonight because he has all the knowledge on the show. Let's get to it. Take it over, James.
All right. So just to get into this, because we haven't been here for 2 weeks, and for good reason, because we had to get a lot of this information down for what it is. The show, yes, Miami Geeks, we agree with you. The show is the reason I'm interested in the MCU again. The ending is just insane, and I want more. And that is facts. Absolutely, Haas. Because now we're at a revolving point to where exactly where we want to be in these last 2 episodes. And it's almost to where, like, almost right where we wanted to be with these Disney shows, almost like in the middle of Ahsoka. You were like, oh shit, this is really going in a good direction. I want it to stay like this. So these last 2 episodes are severely pivotal. Okay. And note, to have a cliffhanger like we did in episode 4, and even better yet, and even in episode 3, because the lead up to episode 4 with episode 3 just brought on a new understanding that everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And that's Kang's whole thing. Now, just to go back into a little bit of detail, in the comic books, Kang, when he goes back as Victor Timely, he is merely going back to a portion in time as a failsafe. If he fails at anything, he has a point of distance that he goes back to so he can start shit back up again. So if we go back to season 1, the cliffhanger of season 1, when He Who Remains dies, he's basically telling you that this is a young man's game, and that the only 2 people that he could basically utilize to run the TVA in a certain way in which he wanted it to be ran was through Loki. Better yet, even maybe 2 with him and Sylvie. So it was more so a thing because we talked about it in a prior podcast that in the void, there just happened to be this collection of Lokis laying around. Maybe those weren't the ones that were supposedly the ones to lead the plan as to how this thing was going to start back from square zero. It was inevitably going to be these 2 that to start everything back up. So it's looking like it's going in that direction. So when you see it, when we get to season 1, starts off with time slipping, and that's very important. Those first 2 episodes with the time slipping, extremely important. We have to look at that and dive into that just a little bit more. So
and that shit looked painful.
It did look painful. Absolutely. So now the question that I'll ask everybody here is, what is the correlation? Because as we know right now, Kang, He Who Remains, and Victor Timely have all stated verbally that they do not like partnerships. But yet, when Victor Timely meets OB, that he's almost in awe of him. You know,
Right.
It was like, the only way we can get this done is through me and you.
He respects
So it's
him.
almost like, yeah. He absolutely trusts him. But that's the thing. Even when he arrived at the TVA, he was like, I'm from Chicago. I don't trust nobody. So all of a sudden, like all this disdain that he has for people and friendships and acquaintances go right out the window when he meets OB. So what is the correlation that we're seeing between OB and Victor Timely?
I got
a question. Someone who has not read this arc in the comic, I was going to say, is OB a big character in the comics as well, or is he someone just added for the show? Because a lot of people probably don't know the correlation between the TVA in the comics and the what's going on here on the
show. There's a character called Ouroboros in the comics, but it does not have a pivotal part in Kang's timeline whatsoever. So it's almost like if he's choosing this particular person as OB saying, I learned everything from Victor Timely. Victor Timely is somebody as a kid that received the TVA handbook, which was basically the blueprint from Ouroboros. They both are saying that they got it from each other. Who's to say that, yeah, okay, all these variants are looking like Jonathan Majors, but is there another variant out there that just doesn't look like him? Is there another Kang variant that's out there that just so happens to not be him? Why is there so much of a good-ass partnership with OB more than anybody?
That's true.
I mean, I guess we would get into like trying to guess and predict. So I don't know. Like, I really have nothing. I have nothing. I'm really interested to find out if I can find out an episode. Why that connection is there. I was thinking that too when I was watching the episodes. The most times I watched the episode. So I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, like there was definitely that correlation there. And he trusts him to the point where he was like, I'm gonna get in the suit, I'll do it. And trust him all the way to his death. So I don't know. Like
James Straw Hat Prime says 8.
But it was crazy. So I don't know.
8 what?
I assume variants or
oh, there's way more. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of let's just say that. Yo, like we haven't even gotten to the totality of many variants that there are out there. There could be Mr. Griffin, anything like that. They even could be the Beyonder or anything like somebody of that effect that could be definitely be out there. There's been predictions
and they definitely
that
don't have like we do know that because when we saw the Council of Kangs at the end of Ant-Man, like not everybody looked like. Not everybody, like a lot of them did, but not everybody looked like Jonathan Majors, right?
Exactly.
So, let's keep that in mind. Like it could be, Kang could be anybody.
Luckily, and I wish Jorge could pull this up, but he probably can't. There was a mid trailer. There was a mid-season trailer that Marvel just put out. And it's detailing the effects of what episode 5 and 6 are going to look like. So notably, we're looking at episode 3, episode 4, the introduction of Victor Timely, Sylvie trying to kill him. All of a sudden, Victor shows compassion to where Sylvie does not kill him. So that's a pivotal point there. It allows him to enter the TVA in hopes that he can fix the temporal loom. He meets OB, has a partnership that they have no idea about. They try to resume it. Loki volunteers himself first,
right?
Then gets baller blocked by Victor Timely and says, "I'll do it." Now Loki's a god. Now another thing that more than likely that's going to come to mind because of this explosion that is currently happening within the temporal loom. Everybody pretty much thought that the MCU just had a reboot, which could quite possibly be true because after the effects of these 6 episodes, I don't feel like anything's going to be the same.
No,
and it might go down a whole different path.
You think Loki got nerfed during this reboot? Because to the comics, he was freaking prime, man. Now
this
Loki
is the thing.
Like, huh?
This is
no. His powers don't work in the TVA. They're dampered. Remember, his powers don't work in the TVA. That's when they did at the end of the episode. Remember, they're like, if we do this, you're going to be able to use your magic. And they were like, yes.
They both said yes. Like, do it. But either way, like, so So Loki. All right. So there's two things. I'm gonna piggyback off you said, Jorge. So one, yes, we explained why his powers wasn't working at the TVA, right? But two, I also noticed this season, which I don't really have a problem with, but the show is called Loki, and he feels more like a secondary character.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like a secondary character. So the show is Loki. I feel like the show now should be either called the TVA or Jonathan Majors. I don't know. It should be called something else. But Loki and Loki and Sophie, like they're both. They don't seem like main characters anymore, right? They just don't. This is me personally. This is something I noticed. It's something I made note of. Like they're not through the whole season. Like the whole first season, definitely Loki. Definitely Loki. I think the show was revolving around Loki. Period. This season, not so much. I'm getting so much. Like I feel more like, especially these last episodes, like Renslayer, Miss Minutes, Victor Timely. I feel like they are taking importance more so than Loki. So yeah, the show's called Loki. Loki's not a main character. Like he's a main character, but he's not the main character. I think where the story is following more because I feel like I expected something different. Mind you, this show is great. I don't care that he's a side character. I'm just bringing up some points that I made note of. I feel like show is fantastic, but I just feel like I would have seen like more Loki stuff in these episodes, and I'm not, and I'm cool with that. Totally cool with it. It's just something to make
because it's the construction of the TVA. It's actually you're learning how this shit works, and we talked about that in the prior podcast. We're learning how the multiverse works, and we're learning how the TVA works.
Yeah.
So the multiverse needs the TVA. Loki's basically been trying to make that point this entire season, all the way up to episode 3, until he started to actually convince everybody.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Darnell.
Darnell's time slipping.
Okay. I'm on a little delay, so I'm gonna have to put this in here. Can we talk about how Miss Minutes wanted some dick?
Yes.
It happened. Remember, she was just like, "Yo, I've been playing chess with you. I've been like, Miss Minutes was like, I'm ready to get it on."
Well, this is the thing, and this is the scary part about AI that we always talk about. Its ability to attach itself and almost concur to everything emotionally, to the point where she's been laying in wait, created by He Who Remains, utilized as AI throughout the TVA as sort of like an intricate computer, like Jarvis is for Iron Man.
Right.
But in the beginning, yeah, she was there as a personal assistant, somebody that could keep him company while he was at the Citadel at the end of the world, end of time. I'm sorry. And it was there to play chess. And then little by little, the more responsibilities that he gave Miss Minutes, she started to garner some feelings. So not only is she fucking psychotic, she got horny as hell and grew some fucking some feelings for Kang, for He Who Remains.
She's different.
Like literally in episode 3, it's like, how come you never turned me into a woman?
She wanted her little hand to reach the big hand, you know what I mean?
Like she wanted to get turned into a sex bot.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what she wanted to be. But yet, this is somebody that's still learning about. Yes, this is somebody learning about human emotion as she goes along. So it's like the concentration of killing someone, like the actual act of doing it. When she was doing that in episode 4 to all those TVA agents inside of that cell, that shit looked exciting to her.
Oh, she didn't even care. She didn't care.
She was like,
I was like, man, look at these motherfuckers melt.
Wow.
Like,
yeah. So like everything is like brand new to her. Like she doesn't understand the construct of friendship, love, sex, or murder. So it's like this is all brand new to her.
It's
so
kind of like Data from Star Trek.
Oh, it's and absolutely unstable, and has now garnered up to the point where she just wants to be a straight up sex bot that put on Pornhub. Yes.
Yo.
Right. James, we got a comment here saying, I think Loki season 2 is going to lead to Deadpool 3. How do you think it will?
Well, this is the thing. We talked about that a couple episodes ago, that basically Deadpool 3 could be could be a surfaceable thing that the TVA actually goes after because he did disturb a branch in the multiverse when he utilized Cable's watch and started going into multiple spots within time. Even when he killed Green Lantern, he killed a former version of himself. That's an incursion.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he killed himself in Wolverine Origins. So that's an
Yo.
incursion. So more than likely, if the TVA shows up in Deadpool 3 or Deadpool shows up in like the last episode, maybe in the post-credit scene or something like that, that would be cool as fuck.
Yep.
shit. Nice. Great comment, Straw Hat Prime.
Yo, but I want y'all remember that Miss Minutes moment when she was watching them be killed, when she was watching all those agents be murdered. This is where I said like a couple shows ago, like, yo, she's something menacing about her, and she enjoyed. That was for us to see how menacing she's like. She's gonna like, there's something up with her, and she's gonna do something like gruesome. Yo. Like, I swear to God, she's about to do something gruesome. That was just a start. That was just a little taste that we was gonna get. Like, she's that is an evil AI. I'm trying to tell you. Yes, Darnell.
Wait, I got a question. Is Miss Minutes an extension of Kang's like darker side because he created her, he programmed her, or is she kind of like going rogue right now?
I think she's going rogue right now.
Or is she like part of him because she's?
Yeah, I think she's going rogue right now because, of course, she's something that he created. Of course, she's merely a program. So the program was merely concentrated to do diagnostics for the TVA to make sure it's up and running, to make sure all the branches were running normally, and at the end, the diagnostics around the TVA were at a certain level to where they wouldn't be harmed. Ultimately, in that fashion, because, like I said, he gave her more responsibilities, it grew an attachment to He Who Remains, not only through Renslayer, but through Miss Minutes herself.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like, it's weird. It's like this
disgusting
ass love triangle.
He set it up where she was able to basically program herself, like she of her own programming. So she's experiencing all kinds of shit. So so it's much like, if you remember Ultron and Vision, right? Like they each took parts of like Tony Stark. Well, Ultron anyway. He took parts of Tony Stark and incorporated it into his own personality. And then Vision took parts of Bruce Banner, Iron Man, Ultron, a whole bunch of different people all mixed up in one, right? So yeah, Kang's influence is in Miss Minutes, but Miss Minutes is her own entity now. Like, she is something different. And I'm telling you, she's eating fuck.
Yeah, and then you look at the fact of how the TVA was created. He put people in place in order for everything to remain completely stable. So the TVA was created to secure the timeline. Right. All right. After the multiversal war, he had to remain controlled, even if he was in the shadows. So Renslayer, of course, getting her mind wiped because she was his top general. She gets sent to the TVA to basically run the TVA as so fit, and has almost no recollection of Kang because the timekeepers were put in his place. So you're looking at that aspect to where she has this overlying view of three individuals who are speaking on He Who Remains' behalf. She never sees He Who Remains face to face anymore, but she's still getting directed in a certain way. Miss Minutes is pretty much like her personal assistant who knows of He Who Remains, but yet, you know, there's no recollection. She's never bringing it up. Miss Minutes is never bringing up He Who Remains to Renslayer whatsoever. But then you're looking at it from the context of what the TVA is. So the TVA itself, they never had an army. So what they did was they basically picked and choose certain people and snatched them from their previous lives. And that became their army. They wiped their minds clean and just was like, put them out there as foot soldiers to make sure that timelines were pruned, everything remained secure, and nothing was going to be crazy or disheartening of how the thing was going to get run. Now, in this certain aspect to where everybody now is open to the reveal that you guys all had a former life outside of here, thanks to Sylvie. You know, it's like how it's almost that context to where, you know, in order to make a good omelet, you got to break a couple eggs.
Right.
This is Kang's whole thing. It's like you have to, in order to have complete control, you have to probably murder people, dismantle branches, kill a lot of planets, make sure multiverses do not exist in order for this shit to be secure. And that didn't happen because literally without him, when you killed He Who Remains, it wasn't that Renslayer wasn't there. It was the fact that Kang or He Who Remains is not there anymore.
Right.
So now everything is completely disrupted. So now we go back to square zero. So that's the end of that part. This thing has to be, everything is a circle. Everything has to start from square zero. So in that fail safe, already Miss Minutes had in her hands to drop this TVA handbook someplace in Chicago to a little boy making fucking candles in the early 19th century. And he became this accomplished person and basically followed this book up to a T. But the thing is, it's almost like that Matrix theory where when Neo found out, oh, this isn't the first time that we've blown everything up. You know, this is probably like the 7th time we've done this. So who's to say that everything that we've been watching has to happen in this certain way? Because, you know, He Who Remains told you at the end of episode 6, season 1, I paved the road.
Right.
You know, this is all my doing. So the thing is, if we start at square zero, we just don't know who the players are. We don't necessarily know who OB is or anything.
Is it just me, not to go off the side a little bit, but watching this show, I get such Umbrella Academy vibes. It just has that same, because it's kind of playing with time. It's kind of set back in, you know, like you said, early 19th century. So watching it, like, and don't get it wrong, like I love this season of Loki. I think it's great, just like I love the first season. But I get the Umbrella Academy vibes, like, all right, you know, just the same thing, like where you're fixing time that already got screwed up. You know, now obviously Marvel's going to do it a little different, but like you were saying earlier, to what extent is this going to not just reset Loki, but the MCU? Like, is it ever going to get back to normal where, all right, now this is the timeline. Now we have mutants. Now we have this. Are we getting there, or is everything? Because I think that they got to leave the time thing alone eventually. You know what I mean? They got, because it makes everything changeable, and that's good and bad. You know what I mean? Like, you can't kill somebody and be like, guess what? They're not really dead, because then it just takes something away. So I think at some point this it has to come to an end, and we get like a new timeline with Professor X, so on and so forth.
Well, I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I believe that it's not. I think you're forming your question wrong. The time that the whole time concurrence has to stay there. What you need to go away is the multiversal thing. That's the thing that you hate. You know, that whole portion of it is the part that you need to go away. And after we get past Kang Dynasty and the multiversal war to where everything's pretty much set in a certain way, we don't even have a movie for mutants until maybe like phase 7. You know, so that's so far down the line. We got to actually like get through this. So like when we're looking at like exactly where you want to be, you're not going to get Robert Downey Jr. back. You're not going to get Chris Evans back. You're not going to get certain characters that you love and behold to come back. It's just not going to happen. So the current MCU
comics,
for what it is,
they live on forever.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, comic book characters do come back. I mean, we do have a new Captain America. You know, we do have somebody that resembles Iron Man, but nobody want to do this shit anymore. Nobody likes it. You know, it's like, yes, the multiverse and time travel are different. Now, very different. One is basically parallel dimensions of yourself, and the other one is just going back in time. So,
but there's still a marriage there, because you can go back in time.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do something different, you turn it. Now you have a new branch to the multiverse. So as they're different, I'm not going to say they're the same. They're definitely different, but they can definitely, going back in time, you can create a new branch.
Like, when you go to a multiverse, and then when you're in that multiverse, decide to go back in time in that multiverse, can that happen or no?
You can.
That can more than likely happen. You could probably go to a certain point in time in a different dimension, and you're probably doing the same fucking thing.
Damn,
Probably.
why?
Or
Yeah.
something completely different.
Now, yeah, because you could actually like if we could sit here and talk about this, and we could stay here for
Right.
hours.
Loki was time traveling in the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I talked about it in what was it, the first podcast that we did about Loki. The fact that he's time slipping only allows him to go back to a certain point in the same
Yeah.
timeline. He's not jumping dimensions like they're doing in Across the Spider-Verse. He's
Yeah.
literally going from A to B. Like I'm going from right now, it's 9:30. I can go back to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
and
So
then
he's
come
not-
back to a certain
not-
point.
jumping.
That's all
He's
it
not,
is. But
dimensions.
inevitably, when we get to episodes 5 and 6, he has to get back to the point where he's time slipping again, because that's going to happen. If you look at that mid-season trailer, they're talking about the fact that Loki has to get back to time slipping because they're going to introduce a Groundhog Day effect that's going to happen to where they're going to have to do do-overs of this shit over and over.
And that's what
did Doctor Strange say?
At the end of episode 4, it seems like yeah, that happened, and that shit's about to
Yep.
about to
So what
restart.
Doctor Strange had to go through 14,605 futures in order to
Oh my
find out
God.
what the objective is. So you're actually going to watch somebody probably either in this episode or in the next episode start to go through these little indicative things to where he's going back and making and then realizing that maybe Victor's not the motherfucker that needs to go out there. It has to be him.
Exactly.
And that's why he was chosen. That's why there's a collection of Lokis that are pruned in the timeline.
Yeah.
Because he's the only person that can fix it.
Which would turn the show back into Loki for real. Whole season. It would turn the show back into Loki. It would. It would literally turn the show back to him.
So inevitably, I mean, once the TVA was destroyed, everybody gets sent back to their timeline. And if you look at that mid-season trailer that's now on YouTube that Marvel put out, everybody's basically put into a whole nother context of who they used to be in the sacred timeline before they ended up in the TVA. Mobius, of course, he's been talking about jet skis since season 1. He used to be a jet ski salesman. Let's just put that out there.
How did that literature get? Well, how did that literature get to him?
That's the thing. He told people in the TVA that he learned everything from a 19th century inventor named Victor Timely. So who's to say that back in the day on the sacred timeline that they had met in some form or fashion somehow? So when Loki goes to start doing all this, because that became confusing to everybody that last episode, does Loki have to go back in time, get Victor first, introduce him to OB on the sacred timeline, tell him about the TVA, because he's probably somebody that works in academia, and they start working together on this partnership in order to form the TVA for the way that it is. He has to get everybody back in order. So everybody that was in that room before Victor got fucking wiped out has to get set back in that certain point. So he's going to time slip. He has to go through the sacred timeline to pick everybody up, put them back in that current state of place, and then go through these things over and over again in order for it to work. But from what we hear, the writer of the show says that there is a cliffhanger that we are completely fucking missing.
Wonder what that could be.
Yeah,
Could be the reset of everything. Could be
In a way,
somebody that's
we deserve that because with Secret Invasion, we didn't get that at all.
Wait, what about Secret? What about it?
No, he said we didn't get any cliffhangers in Secret Invasion, and we didn't.
No,
that's why it was awful.
Sorry,
no.
You don't think the Marvels will have a big setup?
Well, that's the thing. There is somebody that's going to show up in the Marvels that I don't think anybody's ready for. And the way that everybody's downplaying this fucking movie, go ahead and not see it. And then
Blue Marvel.
Look at the spoilers.
Yeah.
Go ahead and not see it because there will be a spoiler in there that's going to fuck everybody up.
Setting to what? Setting the platform to what?
The thing is, it's not even like setting anything up. It's somebody that needs. Already, there's already a mutant that's going to arrive in Phase 5, which is basically Wolverine is going to appear in Deadpool 3. So the thing is, certain people, not necessarily the whole group, but certain people have to start arriving in order to set things in balance. Maybe it's somebody that got cast in a certain movie in a shitty ass role that finally gets his due or her due in order to redeem themselves and coming back into the show, coming back into the phase.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Krasinski.
You talking about Darwin from
No,
X-Men?
Yo,
How they did Darwin dirty?
why would it be fucking Darwin?
The dude that can adapt it.
No, maybe it is John Krasinski.
Yo, I'm
as
still
Mr.
mad about
Fantastic.
Maybe John Wraith. Will I am.
Well, I am.
not-
Jesus Christ. So you watch X-Men Origins and you watch X-Men First Class. What is wrong with y'all?
You think
It's
it'd be another
horrible.
movie?
No, but the
Bring
thing
back
is,
Peter Dinklage.
oh my god, you know what? Boulevard Trash was great. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
Yeah, nobody. Don't y'all speak no trash on Days of Future Past.
He
Bro.
was.
That's my.
That was a good movie.
That's a great
word.
Great.
Oh my
But-
god, that's
But
funny.
necessarily, you know, for some reason, somebody has a friend out there. Maybe it's Miss Marvel, maybe it's Captain Marvel, maybe it's Photon, you know, Monica Rambeau. But all of a sudden you see in those trailers that the Bifrost is hitting one of their spaceships and somebody falls aboard. Everybody's thinking it's Thor, but is it actually Thor? Maybe it's Loki. You know, who knows?
Whatever
There's
it is.
certain people that could appear.
Nope.
But
It's Dazzler.
this is where we get to when we have these small little Easter eggs, when we have these post-credit scenes.
Fucking
Yeah.
Daz.
Dazzler. Holy shit.
Look,
They said Taylor
Deadpool
Swift might
3,
be
I'm-
Dazzler, so
no, it's not going to be Dazzler, but she might be in Deadpool 3. If they got Taylor Swift being Dazzler in Deadpool 3, that's actually going to be pretty funny. And
True.
it would actually be even funnier if they kill her, you know. But
it kind of works. Yep.
you know, that's just me. That's just me. I mean, all the girl can do is just like literally light up fireworks and light shows with her voice and her dancing skills. That's all she can do.
That's it.
Just
That's
have her,
Jubilee.
have her get into a battle with Jubilee in the raincoat and watch the fireworks go off. That's it. Just let it happen.
Man, that'd be great.
But
if they
inevitably,
yeah.
look, the show is great.
Didn't sit out on that Marbles thing though, just because of that. Like,
Yeah.
people want that went out. Don't sit it out. Trying to
Don't
tell
sit
you.
it out. The movie is very short. It's not one of those long ass movies.
Thank God.
It's gonna be it's probably gonna be a lot of action in it from top to bottom. It's gonna be real quick, and then they're gonna give you a post credit scene. And you're gonna be like, oh shit, had no idea.
Yeah, don't sit it out now.
Yeah.
Don't sit it
But
out.
you
Nobody,
saying-
nobody.
You're saying to lower your expectations, right?
No,
I feel like they're gonna-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like watching a DC movie. Just have a good
No.
time.
No, I'm not gonna.
No.
Not- Just,
I mean, as much as I would love to do certain
Nobody-
things with the DC universe, it's just not happening.
nobody. Should, like, I think because of Loki, like, you got to kind of pay attention to everything now.
Yes.
This shit is about to get crazy. Like, that wasn't for the whole like all the. You saw how crazy the timelines were. Is getting out of control in the Loki show, right? You could literally see it. How everything is just out of control. Like when we get to these other movies like Deadpool and the Avenger films and stuff like that, and Doctor Strange, like this is what's going on. Like Doctor Strange, all the incursions and everything, this is going to be involved in it, whether it's directly or indirectly. Like all this stuff is happening for a reason. Like so, these movies that are coming out can't be sitting out because you're going to miss something that's going to be very important when it comes to the Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars. Like
Yeah,
So Loki is like the hub, right?
technically,
Okay. Loki's like the show is like the hub of everything. that's gonna be happening.
He's very pivotal because in order for things to come back to a certain way that everybody might like or dislike, it has to be him putting himself in place for the TVA to run correctly.
right?
And the thing is, now there's variants of him. Who knows? Maybe Sylvie dies at the end of these fucking 6 episodes, and then there's literally just one Loki left. That's
Oh.
it. You never know,
Yeah.
you know, because somebody's gonna have to die at the end of this. Somebody's got to go. There's too many
Sylvie lost too
emotional
much weight.
attachments.
She need to start eating something. She looked better season 1.
She was pregnant in season 1. She was
Was
pregnant.
she?
She was.
Okay.
She was pregnant. So she did that whole series pregnant. So this is after birth. Wait, like she
Mhm.
snapped back.
Well, this is the thing. It could be Morbius.
She need to get knocked up again.
Yeah.
You maybe you might be right. Nobody's
But
not.
the thing is, we needed her to kill He Who Remains in order for this shit to happen. The reason that Loki season 1 was so successful was the cliffhanger at the end. You kill He Who Remains, now what?
Yeah.
And the episode 4, Victor Timely dies. Now what? Jonathan Majors has been murked 3 times already in the MCU, and he's only been in it in a year.
Yeah. And
So we're at this point now, and the thing is, I don't even really think he's dead.
And they're trying to kill him in court too. It's messed up.
Jesus Christ.
we never confirmed that he died in Ant-Man.
Yeah, I don't think he died in Ant-Man. I don't. Trying to see his ass go to jail. That's horrible.
Hold on, I got a sound for that, Darnell.
No.
A sound of Jonathan Majors dying. Oh,
Yeah. Now, Darnell. No.
But at the end of the day,
right.
I mean,
I thought you had
the
a sound of his
multiverse-
agony getting arrested.
yeah, the multiverse for what it is, maybe in the next couple of movies, episodes, so on and so forth, it might disrupt things, but you'll actually start to like it again. If Loki is going the way that it's going, and if it's a means of correcting things, then maybe this is the opportunity for people to start tuning back in. I know a lot of people have checked out. They don't like Marvel no more. They've gone to anime, right? Ain't that right, Darnell? You know? Look, he didn't like him. Look, see?
Oh my god, that's funny.
But this is where we're at. Like look, we've gatekeep this shit so much that people are leaving. Now the real people just stick around. So this is what you get.
And we out here. We out here.
Yeah,
But you saying we ain't real? Hold up. Time out.
Are we gonna be? I mean, are we gonna be waiting a while for Marvel?
I keeps it real, dog. I keeps it real.
Stopping production
Are we gonna be waiting a while for what?
for movies to come out now, for Marvel movies, right? Because they're coming back.
Yeah, because of the strike. I mean, Marvel's was already supposed to come out. So it sucks that they haven't had the opportunity to do press or anything, no type of screenings or anything with the actual celebrities actually like talking about their roles in the movie. They can't bring up anything because of the actor strike. The writers are still there, but they can't say anything. They're supporting the actors in the strike. So it's almost
we ain't getting shit in 2024.
No, we're almost at that point.
Yeah.
Like
anime.
I believe it was as of this week. If nothing happens, they're not resuming contract negotiations until 2024, and that's just the negotiations.
Yeah, and that's when we was Deadpool. So
Wow.
That'll push that back to 2025.
And that's the movie. Like that, out of everything that's coming out, that's the movie.
Right.
You gotta wait on it till 2025.
It fucking sucks, man. But this is what's happening in the world now. Everybody's but hey, pay your people. That's the whole point. If you don't pay your people, motherfuckers ain't gonna say nothing. Just pay your people.
Pay the people, man.
Pay your people.
Yeah, pay your people, exactly. Pay them. Come on now.
Pay your people.
But I tell you what, I think during this time period now where we're not getting as much as we was getting, we were a little spoiled. That's why some people checked out, because even Marvel got spoiled. We're just gonna hit them with everything.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, look, that was the corrective balance. They had to do that. They were doing fucking 10 projects at one time. When you're making that much money, people get greedy. I'm sure shareholders got greedy. I'm sure a lot of the business people got greedy.
More!
And somebody had more. Now we're pulling back.
Now we pull back, but now this gives people
Anticipation.
gives y'all opportunity to go back and watch.
Yeah.
Didn't Marvel see this coming? It's like, hey, we're probably not too many projects. I think people are going to be checked out.
I'm sure there was somebody out there that was saying that they got too many projects out, but then there was probably like other people that were like, no, keep it rolling, man. Look how much money we're making. We got to hit our numbers this year.
See, they got to go. I'm telling you, that Werewolf by Night,
That shit was bomb. I
got
love
to
it.
do more of that.
but that's really the blueprint. Just do the one shot show.
That's
I don't
it.
need every character to have a show. I don't need every character to have a movie. Do it. Just if you want to introduce new characters, give me 30 to 45 minutes.
That's right.
Of
Them doing a mission.
And
I
that's
agree.
it. That's
I
it.
agree.
Like, we could do those all day.
Yep.
We could do
I
those.
still haven't gotten the Battle of Xandar and how Thanos got the Power Stone.
We have
So,
that.
so that's my introduction to Nova right there. Do my
Hello.
one shot.
Hello. That's it right there. And plus, I want to see that.
I want to see that.
I want to see.
Mhm. I know you've been waiting for Nova, James. You've been waiting
I've been
years
waiting
for
for
Nova.
Nova. Is one of my favorite characters. The entire cosmic universe in a whole, but I haven't gotten anybody but the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So that you can imagine my pain because there's no Galactus, there's no Silver Surfer, there's no Nova, there's no Quasar. You know, I'm not getting the feeding that I should be getting of the cosmic universe that I'm used to.
The CGI ain't there yet.
That too.
All kind of,
Man,
but people
so
do
you want a Nova movie like Werewolf by Night, right? Him just booted up, just fighting.
But the thing is, like, to be
no
honest, I'm good with however they want to do a Nova movie. If they want to do Sam Alexander as a child, they can do that, or they can do Richard Rider, but they might not want to do it because people are going to start calling him Dick Rider, and that's not going to be great.
So no, checked out. Well, that's it for me.
Yo, he time slipping, yo. That's all it is. He keeps time slipping.
So all right, so Cindy says a lot of people I know haven't started watching Loki season 2 because they're marveled out. And guess what? They can stay there. If they don't want to be here for the ride, totally fine with me. So I'll be here to talk about it.
And I'm agreeing. Here's the thing. Like originally, when this shit all came together to begin with, the shit was for me. I'm just not saying me in general. I'm just talking about people like me. Like I've been waiting for my whole life, right? So people like us, we're not going to check out of this shit. Like we're not, because we can see the bigger picture.
Right.
Casual fans are checking out. It's the casual fans that just like, oh, Marvel's cool. Look at these cool movies. Da, 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 da. It's exciting. That's for y'all. Our group of people that have been reading comics since you were yay small,
still reading comics,
all this stuff. Yeah, I still got a ton of comics. So listen, this is for us. We were out of this shit. Yeah. So the more people that need to check out is cool. Like I'm not making money off this shit. I just want the story. So I could care less when people are like, oh man, we're checking out. Oh well, this shit's not for you anyway. This shit's for me. Like I'm on a lot of shit. Like it's fine. So those people, bye. You can come back. It's cool. I'm not gonna. I don't really care to welcome you with open arms and shit. Like you should have been here rocking with us.
Yep.
But don't come when the shit gets crazy in a couple of years, and now you're like, oh, Avengers movie. Like nah, the story. See, I like the story. Like I love getting into like when that build up to like Infinity War and Endgame. Like that shit. Obviously.
Right.
Great movies.
But the thing is, just like Cindy said, there was some that were not great films on that way. You know what I'm saying? Like Thor 2, we still talk about it. Wasn't all that great.
But you had to watch it.
You had to watch it though.
And there's as lame as that movie is, there's important parts of it that
you needed. Iron Man 3.
Fucking weird. Weird fucking that's the best way I can describe Iron Man 3. Fucking weird, but yet necessary. So that's what I'm saying. Like everybody, and then I keep saying this. I've said this on multiple casts. With the Avengers movies, particularly Infinity War and Endgame, spoiled everyone into thinking like every movie has to be
like that
A+. Every has to be A+ and this and epic and everything. Like we don't have to save the world or the universe or the multiverse every time there's a movie out. It doesn't. You don't have to do that. Sometimes you're just going to get a movie, you're going to get a story, and it may not even be so huge in the big picture, but those little nuggets in movies like that are going to play a part in the bigger picture. That's why you watch.
That's why the Easter eggs were invented and created and basically blossomed in Marvel movies.
Exactly.
Because you needed to watch the entire movie, even if it sucked, in order to see something that connects.
That's true.
The one thing I would be pissed off if I didn't watch everything. I'd be pissed off like, damn, I didn't watch that. I don't even understand what the fuck's going on. Yeah. Me personally, as a fan, I would be disappointed in myself. Like, god damn, I didn't take the time just to watch this shit. Like, nah, And it's okay, because if a movie sucks, we'll say it sucks. It's cool. We'll talk about it. It's great. We'll just keep talking. Fine. But at the same time, the way the story is working out, see, it's different from the DC shit. Because DC shit, we're sitting there wishing for.
They rushed it.
We're literally wishing for a good movie. Shout out the Blue Beetle. Okay, that movie's great. But we sitting here wishing for movies every time they come out. We're wishing for something good. With Marvel, it's like, yeah, we seen good. We know we seen great. Seen that. So now it's like, all right. Even when they went on this little, all right, not so thing. Like, I guess in between like No Way Home and up to now, like there wasn't a lot of great projects, like, right? So, but
which were like what, 3 projects?
3, 4, something like that. So you take that though, like you eat that.
Guardians 3 was still bomb though. That was probably like the 3rd one.
Which one? Which one?
Guardians 3.
I like Guardians 3 though.
Of course you do.
Okay. That shit's really good. Like,
it's really good.
Better than the second
the Christmas special.
It made $800 million.
Yeah, I like it better than the second one.
Thank you.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, we have the people just want A+ movies all the time. It's not going to happen, yo.
Right.
It's impossible. It is impossible. Like, that's why I can sit there. I could watch the Multiverse of Madness. Like when I watched it the first time, and I was like to me, I liked it. I thought it was good. It's just I was disappointed. Because I thought it was going to be like, oh, well, Spider-Man's this. Oh, this shit's about to be like, it's okay, but you can take the disappointment, but it doesn't mean the movie's bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the movie's bad. Like, it just means like, damn, yo, like, all right, I even had to catch myself, like, damn, not every, like, I got to catch myself sometimes, like, damn, I'm thinking every movie's going to be fucking, like, all right, I got to slow down my damn self. And that's it. You don't check out. Like, who the fuck checks out? You're not.
Look, if I could sit through them 6-ass episodes of Secret Invasion, and I can still sit here and be like, I'm still riding for you, MCU, then that's a special way to hold.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? We sat through all them fucking episodes. We thought some big shit was about to happen. The biggest thing was the fact that, I think that Nick Fury was fucking stealing DNA from all his peoples for the entire time that he was running around, which I thought was fucking the weirdest shit possible.
That's weird. That first of all, that's weird. And I also feel it's weird. He knows. Apparently, they know the names of all these characters.
Yeah.
Even the Black Order. Like, how do you know names of? Like, they didn't speak their names.
They didn't
like,
speak.
They didn't. Weird. But
right.
That's what it is. I think I like Secret Invasion. I like the first. How many episodes we got? 6.
There was 6 of those.
Yeah, I like the first 4.
Right.
I like the first 4. Like, I really
did.
The
last 2 fucking sucked. They did not stick the landing.
Yeah, then it switched. Like, it switched. Like, I was like, because I was the one riding for it. And then it like switched. And I was like, damn. So, but that's what it is. Like, you get like a Secret Invasion. You get like this Echo series. That's what they're trying to put out. We don't need that. I don't care what it is. We don't need that, especially because we're about to get eventually when this shit is over. The actor strike. Like, we're gonna get the Daredevil show, like
with the Punisher writers.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not gonna need an Echo show. Throw Echo in the Daredevil show. Like, throw her in there.
Yeah.
Give her a few minutes, and that's it. Like, we don't need a whole Echo show. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the operation is.
I agree.
That's where I feel like they did Moon Knight so wrong in a way where I like the show. It's interesting, but they did it wrong because it was way, like, how can I describe it? They didn't do it in a way where, like, that could have actually drew a lot of people in. Like, it could have drew a lot of people in, but they didn't really see the way I read Moon Knight. I was just looking for a little bit more. Maybe I was looking for more of the action side, and it got really like it got to the psyche and everything. But I was looking to more of the action side where he was actually on the streets and what. I think that would have appealed to more of the casual fans,
right?
And that's where the people get talking like, oh, well, you guys put this Moon Knight show, you so this and
there's no such thing as overthinking the origin of characters. And
exactly.
they threw the kitchen sink out of a certain character, and then it was like, okay, this might be too much for me to grasp. I just need to know what he's doing. That's it.
Sometimes less is more.
Right.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, when we're talking about this particular show, I feel like this is a great starting point, restart, if we want to call it that. And the introduction of these next set of phases, if it has anything to do with how this is constructed, these 6 episodes of this particular show, and I feel like we're in a good place.
Nice. Hey, James, real quick, for the upcoming Marvels, what are the prereqs for that? What shows or movies you have to watch
Well,
for it? Let's get
Miss
ready.
Marvel, probably Captain Marvel, because you want to know what the fuck she's been doing since she's been up there, and then necessarily WandaVision because of Photon, Monica Rambeau. How did she get to this point? So it's three characters that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
WandaVision
probably out of the 3, nobody really watched Miss Marvel. I watched it.
Yo, Miss Marvel's a good show.
I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it's not meant for somebody like me who's 44 years old, but you know, it's a good show if you like a teen, like literally it's Babysitter's Club Superhero Edition.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Like I think tapping into the cultural aspect and everything. Like I thought it was
diehards aren't gonna like it, but it's good to watch.
Show. Like not my favorite, not even close to a favorite.
So Cindy, yes, prepare for a big death in Loki. I expect that to happen. Somebody gonna have to go.
Loki's gonna go, right?
Maybe not the Loki that you want to go.
Maybe Owen Wilson, because it
might be Morbius, or Sylvie.
That would hurt.
That would hurt. If it's Morbius, all he wanted to be was on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Like
let my man live. He just want to be on his jet ski.
Him or Sylvie.
That's what I'm gonna call that.
All right, good. It's noted on the internet.
Yeah. So brilliant episode, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Tune in because we will be talking about episodes 5 and 6 coming up because we're way too fucking hype of watching this goddamn show. So for Haas, Jorge, me, Facts, Party Nerds, we are out.
Peace out.
Party nerds, party nerds, party nerds.